let's go ahead and get started on this one. Heart's true. The keeper of the entwined spirits is on a lookout for palms in the distance. Gleifnir has not been seen since our last encounter. This brief respite may be our best chance to quell the Great One's terror. Make way for the saplings, Kupo. We've had plenty of practice cultivating our gardens, so selecting the most robust ones was a simple matter. That was the hardest work, so you can help us with the easy part. If you can see a spot of corruption, cleanse the taint and plant the sapling in its place, Kupo. Do it enough times, and the Great One is sure to understand that we're doing all we can to heal the forest, which ought to brighten its mood. We'll see to the East Shroud. You shouldn't have no trouble taking care of the rest, Kupo. Your efforts are much appreciated. We will begin without further delay. I trust you will not object to my company. I dare say healing the forest is one task for which I am more qualified than most. Elder Seedsir, are you well enough to leave the city? I should like to think I have been for some time. In any event, Asumi has finally grown tired of my objections and ceased his attempts to detain me further. Allow me to be the one to consecrate these saplings. It would be an honor to offer words of thanks to the forest for its bounty. Please do, Kupo. A prayer from the Elder Seedsir herself will surely hasten their growth from tiny saplings to towering tree. Such is my hope. As Joran did before me, I shall approach the Great One in friendship, that it might see through the veil of fear that blinds it and remember our convent. Let us begin by cleansing all traces of corruption in Central Shroud. To Green Tier, I sense that the flow of ether has become warped there. Impressive, Kupo. Not even my keen eyes could spot corruption from such a distance. It is but one of the many talents I owe to the elementals. Well then, shall we be on our way? Alright, looks like we're going to take care of Central Shroud first. Go ahead and head out one of the gates. Let's see. Central Shroud. Yeah, let's go out that exit. I shall keep watch for errant beasts. This blight upon the forest must be cleansed. When you have finished, I shall consecrate the saplings and soil with prayer. Okay. Rip and tear. Accidentally pulled a bunch of extra stuff. In gratitude for your boundless blessings do I offer this gift. May it nourish you as you nourish us. At last, the earth is cleansed. There is a settlement not far from here. We should tell them of this sapling, bid them watch over it, and keep it safe from harm. Of course, Elder Seedsir. I shall relay your words forthwith. It will give the people hope to know that they can aid in the restoration of the 12-wood. Thank you. And now we must go. There, something foul impedes the flow of ether. Let us hurry. Let's see, where is that? Considering she looked to the left, let's look to the left. And it's not there. Where is it? That's South Shroud. It said to start in Central. Oh well, let's just go to Quarry Mill. There they are. Look! The flowers here have withered and died. I shudder to think that the forest would look like if this were allowed to spread. Pray see to the corruption that I may plant and bless the sapling. Okay. This injury has begun to heal, and our next destination lies to the north. North Route? Near Histmill, I believe. 'Tis faint, for we are far from the source. Nevertheless, I am certain it is there. Come. Oh, right? Is that gonna be a North Route? Yep, North Route. Let's teleport to Falgord Float. Falgord. And then, yeah, over where, what's his name is. So close to the hamlet. Is nowhere safe. Where must the people seek shelter from this corruption? Tis fortunate that the corruption here is faint. A simple prayer should suffice to cleanse this soil, after which we may plant the sapling. I sense no other disruptions in the etheric flow, which leads me to believe that the Moogles have already seen to the remainder. Indeed, the 12s would sigh with a contentment I have not felt in a long while. But it will serve to placate the Great One, I cannot say. Not until we visit the Guardian Tree. Excuse me, but you're the Elder Seedseer, aren't you? What brings you all the way to our village? Corruption that had been upset the balance of ether, but that we have since cleansed with prayers and saplings. Thus the 12s reclaimed a measure of peace. You've been planting trees? We have. The elementals have suffered much of late, and with these offerings we endeavor to raise their spirits. Elder Seedseer, I've got to protest. What with people's spirits, we who dread every step, we must take out our doors? But, hold on, what the heck is it saying? Elder Seedseer, I've got to protest. What of the people's spirits? We who okay, I get what you're saying, but... The terrible monster is still out there, preying upon innocent folk, without rhyme or reason. Can I just slap this person? Although I understand why. But it's like... We're doing this because we need the power of the Great One. And if it doesn't strike us dead where we stand, this poison will finish the job. I know that you are afraid, that you and yours suffer still. However, it is under the auspices of the elementals that we may call the 12s home. and they too cry out for deliverance. Even the Great One quakes in fear of the blasphemy continue and insists. That's not gonna make them. That's not gonna make them feel any better. To ignore their plight is to invite greater tragedy for us all. Rest assured, however, that I have not forgotten the needs of the people. We bring comfort to the elementals and renew our sacred ties, that we might enlist the aid of the Great One in combating Gleipnir and the suffocating despair it spreads. And so I pray to continue to put your faith in our guardians and in me. Would that we could see Elder Seedseer, but we've been dealing with death and sickness since before Gleipnir's coming. They say the creeping death's nothing to fear these days, but we know better. No, you don't. One of ours caught it not long ago. No, we didn't. We gave her the cure, had plenty on hand, and for a while we thought it would be all right. But by the time we realized it hadn't done a damn thing, it was too late to call for a conjurer. It was a sad day for all of us when she passed, but for none more so than her poor husband Suppin. Suppin? He was... Wait. Hold on, I see where this is going. Okay. He was beside himself with grief. And who could blame him? And then came Gleipnir to compound our woes. No, I think they may be one and the same, sir. Suppin? It cannot be. Do you speak of Aesura Suppin? Aesura? No. Suppin was an odd one, but no one mistake him for a Pagel. Suppin wasn't even his real name. That'd be Elengia. But his wife was fond of calling him Suppin for some reason, and it caught on with the rest of us. I see. And what did Elengia look like? Well, I'd say he'd seen no more than 30 summers. Kept to himself, came and went with nary a word at times, though after he met his beloved, he became more of a fixture, friendly even. His wife was a sickly lass, but she had spirit. But spirit's not enough to beat the creeping death. Pity we couldn't do anything for her. So he was still alive. He had finally made a new life for himself here. Thank you for recounting Elengia's story. Sad though it is, it has helped me to better understand how much you all have suffered. I promise that you will have cause to celebrate soon. Until then, I implore you again to place your faith in the elementals and in me. Together we shall overcome this crisis. Despite what he said, I am certain that Elengia was Aesura Suppin. To think that he was living so close by for all those years, searching for new purpose and finding true love, only to be robbed to that fulfillment too. Were he still a Pagel, empowered by the elementals, could he have saved her? He would have dwelt on the question, night after sleepless night. I know I would have. Mayhap in the end he came to blame the elementals for his helplessness, for her death, and in despair was consumed. Aye, the animosity would linger, endure, and in vengeance would Gleipnir find its final purpose. We have done all we can to show the Great One the purity of our intent. Let us hope that we will be accepted as friends. Alright, where are we headed? Over here. Okay, let's teleport to Bent Branch Meadow. And go, oh right, that's the tree. Suffering was Aesura's constant companion. Nay, it still is. For his sake, and ours, we must deliver him peace. Our supplications cannot have escaped the Great One's notice. May it be enough to receive an audience. O Great One, may I abide even beneath your bows, embraced by your compassion, grace, and wisdom. Bestow the fear within your heart, and know that I am your faithful servant. All feeling. Passion, corruption, passing corruption, refreshed, renewed green, flesh restored. Child of child, covenant honored, friend, friendship, peace. It worked! The Great One speaks through the Elder Seedseer. We were right to follow Joran's example. The corruption is but one aspect of the greater threat. We beseech you to help slay Gleipnir. Profanity spune, despair's orphan, sadness and anger, sadness, death's prayer, one and all. Potent poison, wounds unmending, withering bark, no strength to share. Well, that's not good. After all we've done and you deny us, after all the other Seedseer has endured, she has pledged herself to you, devoted her life to the Twelves Wood. The people cried out for salvation and she answered. The elementals cried out for deliverance and she answered. Only you can help us now. If you do not, then we are lost. She is lost. Please, I beg you. Sir. We beg you. Isn't this supposed to be a place, like a sacred place that normal people can't get to? What are you doing here? We've been dependent on the Seedseers all of our lives, blaming them whenever something goes wrong, without ever considering that we might do ourselves. Aye, but no longer. The other Seedseer has gone to incredible lengths for her people, and so her people have come to return the favor. If her plea alone is not convincing, then we will raise our voices in support. Didn't it literally just say it literally doesn't have the power to help us? I don't think us saying please will help. More people saying please won't help. We couldn't let them make the journey without a protection. That, and we couldn't let them put us to shame. We too have come to stand with the Elder Seedseer and beseech the Great One for aid. We all want the same thing, don't we? Peace restored to the forest. So please, share what you can, however little. Do not forsake us. Do not forsake her. Kan-E, Covenant's child, walks with man, with the elemental, keeper of ancient faith, unbroken, cannot, will not, break faith, to man, render up flesh. Then you agree to help us? Flesh, branches, take and join, to oldest elders, renew bond, as one stir. Raise up to heavens, covenant symbol, our staff, all join, all bloom, all peace. my duties weighed heavy on my heart. So heavy that at times I scarce remembered to breathe. For days and nights I worried that I would be found wanting. But by your faith and trust has the path forward been revealed to us. You came hither, united in purpose, and bared your hearts before the Great One. Nay, Britannia is forever in your debt. Sparkle, sparkle. Here, use this stick and whack the Gleipnir with it. Just giving a branch to everyone? That seems a bit much. May I rely on you all once more? I bid that you take these branches to the very corner of the Twelves Wood, and join them to the eldest tree, that we might finally win free from this despair. It shall be done, Elder Seedseer. We swear it. Once the trees have been bound together in spirit, I shall carry out the Great One's final instruction and cast its cleansing power all across the Twelves Wood. Yes, I must remind you, my friend, that Gleipnir still stalks the forest. It will not remain idle. It will attempt to stop us. Go with hope in your hearts, and do not lose strength. Do not lose sight of the danger. All right. Oh, cool. We're already at the 12. We're already over here. Let's go ahead and turn this in, and then we got one more quest to do. I admit, for a moment there, I thought it wouldn't work. But the Elder Seedseer moved not only the hearts of the people, but that of the forest itself. Her final task appears to be a bit more complicated than the Great One made it sound, and so she must scour the ancient texts before the time comes, and consult with the Seedseer Council to make sure all goes according to plan. It's just as well. We still need to wait until the others have joined the Great One's branches to the many ancient trees scattered throughout the Twelves Wood. Then, of course, there is the matter of Gleipnir. He will not go peacefully as we work to hasten his demise. When he comes, we must be ready.